Ladies and gentlemen, before we hop into today's episode of the podcast, I want to tell you that today's episode is brought to you by my good friends over at David Protein. I'm just going to speak from the heart here. David Protein, I have consumed their bars almost daily since I was first discovered them in November of 2024. They're absolutely delicious. They're 28 grams of protein, only 150 calories, 0 grams of sugar, and gluten-free. I can't believe a product like this exists, quite frankly, and studies have shown that 30 to 50% of people don't get enough adequate protein in their daily lives. I've tried a lot of protein bars. Most are chalky, overly processed, and full of junk. David bars, a different story entirely. Head over to davidprotein.com to check out the full list of bars. These have been a massive game changer in my ability to up my protein, recover better, and then hit training even harder the next day. Head over to davidprotein.com and see why I'm raving about this product currently. And without further ado, enjoy today's episode of the podcast.
Long term, I definitely want to be the best in the world, I'd say, when I'm thinking long term. So I'm not going to aim too much for, obviously I want to aim for goals, but I don't want to put my whole career main goal being in the next race, if you know what I mean, because I don't want to peak at 16.
That was Sam Ruthe, the youngest man to ever break 4 minutes in the mile. And so it is an absolute privilege and pleasure to speak with one of the greats. I mean, his times aren't just great for his age. They're great, full stop, period. He is insanely talented and gifted and a hard worker. In 2025 alone, guys, he clocked 150 in the 800, 339 in the 1500, and 756 in the 3K. This man is not the next Jakob Ingebrigtsen. He's not the next Niels Laros. He's not the next Cameron Myers. He is the one and only Sam Ruthe. He is a legend in the making. He is based out of New Zealand, where he trains with professional runner Sam Tanner and a bunch of other studs. And he's got his eyes on the prize, but he's enjoying the sport, and that's very important. That is one of the lessons I loved learning from Sam, is that he does running because it's fun, and he trains hard because it's fun. And I think that is important to recognize if you're a listener out there, that even a 358 miler at the crazy age of 15 still does running because it is fun. If you enjoy it, share it with a friend, a family member, a teammate, someone who you think would find value and benefit from it. Give us a 5-star review. It takes like 3 seconds to do, and hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss another episode. I really hope you guys enjoy this one. I certainly did. And I hope you enjoy this conversation with the man, the myth, the legend, Sam Ruthe. Ladies and gentlemen, today on the podcast is a man who has not just run faster not run faster than I ever have or will ever have, but he's 15 years old and he's doing it at that age. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Ruthe. Sam, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much for having me on.
How crazy is it to you that you're the youngest human to ever break the 4-minute barrier?
Honestly, probably can't comprehend it as well as I would have liked. It's probably starting to sink in now. I've done it a couple months ago, but yeah, I probably can't even comprehend it, to be honest.
How much did you work for this? And how much of a dream was this to become the youngest person to ever break the 4-minute barrier?
If I'm being completely honest, I couldn't even have imagined being the youngest sub 4 miler, probably even 6 months out. 6 months before the sub 4 minute mile, I was actually only a 3:59 1500 meter runner. So to improve from having a 3:59 1500 meter PB to breaking 4 minutes in the mile in one season, I feel like it was a bit unbelievable of me to believe that going into the season. So I couldn't be more happy, and I definitely surprised myself.
What would you say to other people out there who have big dreams and goals, but maybe are in the same position you were in where they're not necessarily expecting it to happen?
Definitely just work hard. Don't let any other things distract you, and I guess if you just have the right determination, things just sort of happen.
Your grandfather, he was a Commonwealth Games steeplechaser. Your parents were both competitive runners. At what point in your running journey did you realize that you kind of grew up in a household of studs?
Well, ever since I was year one in primary school, so 13 years ago, I started winning school cross countries, and over the years I wouldn't train. I didn't train until probably 2.5 years ago. So I was like, oh, I'm kind of just beating these guys. I've probably got a future in running or whatever, but I never trained, and I was like, I could actually be quite good at this. And then as I got older, I realized all my family's actually like quite good at running. I've actually got some good genetics and I could be quite good at this when I'm older.
At what point for you did it turn competitive versus just like having fun with the sport?
Probably only until this track season for me. So like start of December, I was like, yeah, I'm actually alright at this because before then I was like, I was probably the best in my age group in New Zealand, but I definitely wasn't anything special. So a lot's changed in the last 8 months or so. So I've definitely gone from not much to it all blowing up in a very short amount of time.
How crazy is it to you to look back on that version of yourself a year ago, just where your mindset was at, what you've accomplished since then, the Nike deal, just everything?
I honestly, if I could tell myself 1 year ago where I was today, I honestly don't think I'd believe myself. Just because 1 year ago, I don't even know. I was probably like the fifth slowest in my training group from the people at high school. So,
Wow, what?
oh no, yeah,
How'd you
probably
get
like
that
fourth or
fast that
something.
soon?
I've got no idea. I guess about a year ago I quit swimming. So I swam for 12 years, like from when I was probably 2 years old all the way up until 14. And I'd try really, really hard at it. Like I got to stages where I'd swim like 50K a week. I'd turn up like 5 times most weeks, but I'd never improve at all. So I was like, why am I even still swimming? I'm trying to swim for triathlon, I guess, but I'm swimming so much, I'm not even running, and I'm already better at running than I am at swimming. So I'm like, I've just got to call it here and just commit to running. And then as soon as that happened, I guess things just started picking up.
Was there a specific race you remember that signaled to you, oh, like I've gotten really good really fast?
Yeah, it's probably my first 3K of last track season, where I ran 8:09, which I don't feel as fast now, but like 7 months ago, it was like I was going for the New Zealand record with well, I wasn't, someone in my race was, and it was all set up for him. And the New Zealand record was 8 minutes 14. So there was paces and then he was doing it. So I was like, oh, this could be a perfect opportunity just to sit on him and then like try and maybe outkick him for the New Zealand record. So in that race, I was like sitting on him, feeling really comfortable. And then like with 2 laps to go, I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm like feeling really good. I'm gonna come round him. So I came round him. He also beat the New Zealand record. But yeah, that was probably the moment in time where I was like, oh, I've improved quite quite drastically because probably I ran 6 months before that and I ran like 25 seconds slower. So there's a big breakthrough that happened in that race, I guess.
What do you think has changed from a training perspective over the past year? And can you give some insight into how hard or how easy you train?
I've definitely got an OCD mentality, but I feel like that's when my coach comes into play quite a bit because I did things like swimming challenges. I did a cycle competition with my mate. Well, it kind of turned into a competition when he was injured. Um, and it was just a competition to see who could bike more, and we were like getting down to like 5 hours 30 straight on like an indoor bike, which now looking back at it is probably the stupidest thing I could have done. Like completely ruined my training for the whole week. So I've had a lot of learning experiences from like all the mistakes I've made in the past. My biggest week I've ever done is under 50 miles of running, so not too much running. I try not to overtrain, but like when I do get carried away, like things and like when I biked a lot, my coach does definitely say to me like, "Hey, you need to chill out. I know what you're doing. It's not gonna help your running." So yeah, he definitely pulls me down back to like a reasonable amount of training, and I definitely try not to overtrain.
How do you balance running and competitive running at that matter with school and still being in school?
It's pretty rough to be honest. Like, since especially I'm over here in New Zealand, like when you guys have all your holidays, like usually that's when you guys do your track races, but since it's different over here, like how you guys just had your summer break, it was middle of term for us. So I had to come out of school for a couple of weeks while I went over and raced at Prefontaine. So I definitely am missing a lot more of school just to get in those quality races over in the US, but I feel like I can make it work if I definitely need to start doing some more work overseas though.
Signing with Nike, how big was that for you, and how long in the making was that deal?
Oh my gosh, like I obviously believe Nike shoes are the best in the market. When before I signed with Nike, I tried every other shoe. I really just felt like I had a deep connection with Nike, and then once I signed with Nike, it was probably I knew it was the best decision I could have made at that time, just because the way they treated me at Prefontaine, like I couldn't I could, ever expected how they treated me. Like I turned up to a barbecue with head of Nike Track and Field Global, and then all of the like regions, which is an awesome experience. Like somehow I don't know how I got there because I was the only athlete there, and it was an unbelievable experience. And then the next day, they put me up in a hotel with Faith Kipyegon and Joshua Cheptegei, and there was a Nike breakfast, and I got to have a breakfast with Joshua Cheptegei and Faith Kipyegon, and me and my dad and those two were the only people in that room, so that was probably the coolest experience ever. And then after that, they set up a full tour of like Nike headquarters. I don't even know. They just treated me so well. It was awesome.
What was that breakfast like? What were the topics discussed?
It was actually quite a coincidence. Like they were sitting there and they're like, what is this kiwi fruit?" Like they'd never seen kiwi fruit before. And obviously I'm from New Zealand. Like they grow it here. So it was quite a coincidence of like, they grow it in New Zealand, and they were like really surprised. But honestly, I was so surprised with how humble they were. Like they were the two humblest people I've ever met. Like I would have never expected both of them had world records.
Take me through that race, that 3:58.35. What were the emotions of running such a fast time?
Whenever I'm in the race, I just completely zone out. I don't really think too much. But after that race, like the crowd was just ecstatic. Like it was so cool just to be there at that meet that was like kind of built up around me, and then to have my training partner Sam Tanner run with me while I was there was just like so special that I could share the moment with him.
What's it like training with a literal professional runner like Sam Tanner at your age?
Definitely makes it easier. Definitely does. He teaches me a lot during training, and it's nice sometimes just to sit in and not take the front. So to have him there as a role model is just so nice.
What would you say are some lessons you've learned from Sam over the past year?
I feel like he always just has a smile on his face when he's running, and he's like, it might be his job, but he just has so much fun with it. And I've learned that you don't have to take running too seriously to be good at it. Like every single time he turns up to training, like he jokes around, but he takes his training seriously still, which is probably the coolest thing ever. Like he's the most happy and joyful person I've ever met, really. So he's just showing me that running's not all about being serious, and that you can also have fun in it while performing well.
Do you ever sit and just think like, wow, I'm 15, I broken 4 minutes on the mile, I'm signed with Nike. Like there's obviously still work to be done, but I'm on a pretty good path. Or do you find it hard to do that and reflect and be grateful for what you've accomplished because you want to accomplish more?
Yeah, I feel like just because of my personality, I don't really like looking back and like digesting it, I guess. Like I always want to move on to the next thing. I always feel like, oh, like I'm happy that I've done it, but I'm like, oh, I want to move on to the next thing now because that thing's already happened. So I guess I don't look back too much. Like I'm grateful for all the things that have happened, but I just like moving on to the next thing.
What are those next things you want to accomplish in the sport? What keeps you up at night?
Um, well, long term, I definitely want to be the best in the world, I'd say. Like when I'm thinking long term, so I'm not gonna aim too much for like obviously I want to aim for goals, but I don't want to like put my whole career main goal being in the next race, if you know what I mean, because I don't want to peak at 16. So I'd rather aim for that goal, but not like completely burn myself out trying to get that goal, if that makes sense. So I've got some goals that I don't mind if I don't get, just because like obviously haven't like unlocked my full potential yet. It's probably running 3:38 in the 1500, which is what Cam Myers ran at 16, and 7:52 in the 3K. So those two records would be quite cool because I they're unofficially the fastest 16-year-old times ever, which I'd definitely like to be at the top of.
Who do you look up to most in the sport? And when you think of the names like Jakob Ingebrigtsen or Niels Laros or, your running times, they didn't even run. How crazy is that to you?
Yeah, no, that part is crazy. Like, it's hard to get my head around that part. Like, when I see these guys, I'm like, damn, these guys haven't even ran faster than what I've ran at my age. That's pretty hard to digest. But person I look up to most is probably Tanner, just because he's my training partner. He's like just there, like it's realistic to me, just because how close he is to me, and like I don't know, I can just see what he does, and he just loves it.
Favorite workout and a workout you did that gave you confidence going into that sub four attempt where you did it and you were like, okay, I got this.
Favorite workout, honestly, I struggle to remember the workouts because I never have much thoughts about them because my coach always gives them to me right before the session. Like he doesn't go, "Oh, this is the workout you've got," um, like the week before or whatever. So I just find out the like 10 minutes before I do it, and then I do the workout. So I obviously don't think about the workout too much. But my favorite workout, if he went, "You've got this," I'll be the most happy about probably. Probably like a descending workout. So it goes like um mile, 1K, 800, 600, 400, 200, or something. I quite like those. Those are quite fun.
What do you feel like is your strength? The mile obviously pulls from both speed and strength. Do you feel like you're more of like a tempo guy or do you feel like you're more of like a rip 200s guy on workout days?
Uh Honestly, I enjoy riffing 200s, but I think at the end of the day I'm more of a tempo guy. Like during like races and stuff, I feel like I'd like to say I'm better at the 1500. I'd way rather be better at the 1500, but I feel like in terms of my age, I feel like I'm better at the 3K, which I feel like I want to change. I want to get a bit more speed and I want to go more towards the 1500, to be honest.
Really? Over the 5K? What do you think you'll be at best at long term?
I hope the 1500. I guess
Yeah.
since 10 is my training partner, and he's in 1500-meter training, I feel like they'll kind of work out for me just because I'll slot into the same training he does. So I feel like 1500, 1500 is my go-to at the moment. But right now, like next track season, I'll be doing 8, 15s, and 3Ks just to keep the range up, not limit my options, I guess. So I'll just see how it turns out, to be honest.
Can you explain to me? Um, I'm reading here. I think March 9th this year, you went toe to toe with Sam Tanner at the New Zealand Senior Champs. You tied in 344.31 in the 15. How does this happen?
Oh, well, coach is like, I want you to get first and second, right? And Tanner's obviously 349 miles, so he was like, no way Sam's beating him. To be fair, Tanner did just come off like some of his biggest weeks ever. He did sauna the day before. He wasn't tapering off for this, but so what the plan was the first lap would just be whatever it would be, and then he would come through and just speed it up for the last 2 and 3/4 laps. So he came through, slowly sped it up, and I was like, oh, I'm just sitting on him, right? And then last lap we went through and like I'm not even sure, but it was going to be a slow as time. And then I was still on tennis, so he must have been like, oh, I need to speed up a bit. So he did a 54-second last lap, and like in the last 100 meters, I just felt so good. Like I didn't feel like I'd run the last 1400 meters. It was probably the best I've ever felt in a race. And then to come up on him and like diff him, if I got that win over him, that would have felt so dirty. So tying with him was definitely the best case for me, him, and my coach. So yeah, it was awesome.
How does that happen? Did they go to the thousandth of a second or
Yeah, it was 0.0000 tied. So it was very close. Well,
has that ever
if
happened?
you nah, not in New Zealand history and distance history anyway. Well, if you go look at the photo, like all of my mates were actually telling me I won because it kind of looks like my shoulders in front of his, but his head's just in the way, so you can't see it. So it's a bit controversial, but yeah, it is what it is.
Was that crazy to you that you could tie? Because you would think with timing equipment, there'll always be a winner.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like, I actually finished and I was like, I ran over to my mates on the sideline. I was like, yeah, I definitely got that. I definitely got that. And like, I don't know. And then we just waited and on the board, quickly, like the timing board, the times flashed up and the times were different at first. I was like, oh, who's won this? Like the names didn't pop up though. And then like a second later, they changed it to a tie. And that a tie probably gave me more dopamine to be honest, because it was like just to share it with Tanner, is just awesome.
What was his reaction? How much shit
Um,
was talked on the cooldown?
well, I had to fly out 30 minutes after my race, so I couldn't really cool down with him, but I'm sure he wouldn't have been too happy to be honest.
How competitive are you guys in training with each other?
Um, to be honest, our training sessions aren't too hard, but when they are hard, I feel like I sense that he does sometimes try and pick it up to a pace where he wants to drop me. But nah, I definitely hang on to him. I don't think he's never dropped me in training apart from like 100 meters or whatever. So it does. I don't know. He might feel threatened, maybe. I'm not too sure.
Do you feel like you're a pretty competitive person overall?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If someone's in front of me, I definitely would want to chase them down. So yeah, I feel like being my competitiveness definitely does hold me back to a certain extent. Just like in terms of my training and all of that, like I can get carried away with some stuff, so I'm trying not to be as competitive.
For those listening, what advice would you give them? Kids who really want to be great in this sport but don't want to burn themselves out.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like obviously don't run too much, but make sure your running is quality. Like my coach has done a great job of making sure that my training, I don't do too much training, but when I do it, he can make it really quality sessions. And I feel like I did do 12 years of swimming before, which did give me like a very high VO2 max because obviously you need to be pretty fit for swimming. So maybe when you're younger, get into like swimming or maybe like a bit of like cross training. So when you're older, you will be fit for running. Oh, that's what's worked for me anyway.
What's next for you? What's on your little goal sheet? What are you wanting to accomplish in the next couple months or year?
Oh man, I've just came off my 2 week track season, so I've basically got nothing now until December, where school track nationals is. So it's a big gap, and school track nationals is going to be my season opener, which is going to be rough. But um, I think I want to win the 3K and 800. Oh, I'm not sure what events I'm going to do, but I definitely want to win a double at school nationals, which should should hopefully be quite hard.
In terms of all time, you think about your future down the road. Is it LA 28 gold and the 15? Is it something else? Like, what are you in this sport for and what motivates you?
Man, I honestly just enjoy it so much. Like, I just had a rest week. It's so hard. Like, I just sense myself being sad. I'm like, when can I run next? I'm always looking at my phone to see when my next run is. And honestly just love it. So wherever it takes me, it'll take me. If I can qualify for LA 2028, I'll be so stoked. I really, really hope I can. And if I don't, I'll still be enjoying running. Like, it doesn't matter too much to me.
I had a few more questions on my mind. I'm losing track of them. What was I going to ask you? Oh, you were talking about having fun there. How crucial do you think that is to the longevity of your career? Like the fact that you're just doing running because you enjoy it, no other
Yeah.
reason.
100%. Like, I don't get how people can stick at something they enjoy and be good at it. Like, I can see how you can stick at it and just get through it, but I feel like if you enjoy it, you're on a whole nother level to everyone else because, you can just work that much harder. Like running's half the things I think about during my day. So I don't get how someone who doesn't enjoy running could ever be better than me at it. just because of the mindset people who enjoy running have.
When you think to your career, the fact that you've run so fast at such a young age, do you feel like that's put a sort of pressure on you? And if so, how have you handled that? And if not, how have you been able to not be overcome by pressure?
Maybe a little bit, but honestly, my coach, my family, they're so forgiving. They don't mind if I just drop out of running now, to be honest, which I obviously would never do. But yeah, they're very forgiving, and they've made this whole process really easy, and it's made it really enjoyable. So I don't feel too much pressure, to be honest.
Sam, final question for you. The question I ask every guest on every single episode. If you had Gordon Ramsay coming over to your house for dinner, what would you choose to make for him?
Oh, I'm a shocking cook. I could not make anything. I do like a waffle. Like I've got a waffle machine. I've go through stages of making waffles for breakfast every morning, so I'd probably make him my special waffle.
Sam, really appreciate the conversation. Keep crushing it. Enjoy training and some downtime between now and December, and really appreciate you breaking down some of your remarkable performances, including that ridiculous jaw dropping 358 mile. Know my support. Excited to watch your career. Keep having fun with it, and you'll do big things, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Dominic. Nice to meet you.